Hello friends, welcome again with another day's tutorial. If you haven't checked it, check that link, but later, please go there later. But why I am showing another similar kind of tutorial now? So you might have noticed that I have made it in a special color, right? Separating from the old model that I did. Here is some catch, some very nice tips that I have learned while experimenting with it. I thought of sharing it with you so that you also can learn alongside me. Okay, there were some problem with this approach, this shape, which I have corrected, and I'll be showing you to how I model this thing. Okay, so let me go to, I think I can close it safely now. Let's go to a plain Blender. I have screencast key enabled, and if you haven't followed that tutorial, please check it here. Like that tutorial here also, I will not be using any fancy add-on. I'll be using only the loop tools. Okay, trust me, it is very easy. So what you can do, just add a cube. You don't need to think about the dimension, the size of it. We will come to it at the end of the tutorial. What you will do first, apply two level of subdivision. Okay, I have a shortcut called Control A to apply it, apply all modifier. If you don't have that, you can just go to the modifier section and apply it. Okay, let me select the object, apply it. Now go to edit. You will see it is not a proper spherical shape. Okay, what you need to do, press Alt Shift S and give it a spherical shape. Okay, that is a technique of doing it. There are other ways also as well. So for example, you can go to modifier, deform, I think that is called cast to sphere, factor 1. Yeah, that is also one way of achieving that, but I think pressing Alt Shift S is a quickest one. Just one thing you need to remember, this is a destructive editing, right? Not like that modifier where you can go back and come change it later. But here, you once you apply, the vertices, edges, faces, or all part of it has already permanently settled. We don't have any problem with that because we wanted to take it closest to the shape of a sphere. Now go to the top view, select only this part. You can see these parts are connecting these poles with three edges. I need only this part. Rest of the part of the cube I will construct out of it. So now what I will do, press Ctrl I, remove all the faces. So I am left with 1/6 part of that cube. Okay, so let me just undo a little bit. You can see that this part, okay, this part, these are all the basically 6 faces of that cube. I am just taking only one part of it. Okay, I can safely delete it. Now what you need to do, go to edit mode, press inset. Okay, now when you press inset, remember to enable the edge rail. If you don't do that, it will lose the curvature and it will cause problem. Okay, now as I told you, you need to have the loop tools enabled. Just click on the circle. Okay, here it will be shown as flatten, but I will prefer to flatten it again to give it this shape. Okay, now it is created a proper shape. Now what you need to do, it's simple, just disable everything, and maybe I can just delete these faces and choose this vertex and just extrude scale only once, maybe small like that. Okay, now what I'll do a subdivision. Let's go to the vertex mode, see what happened. What I have done, I had a circular edge there which I have subdivided by one level, so it has created one additional vertex inside it. What I'll do, I'll just click circle again and scale it a little bit. Now I will do that one edge to two edge, that transition I'll do. How I'll do that? Note carefully, I'll be selecting these vertexes. Okay, these pair of vertex, and then I will create that topology that will give me work as a foundation for creating the base of my dies. Okay, mean the surface of the dies where we typically emboss that gold circles for the numbers. Okay, so these vertices are created. Now I need to connect them. So instead of doing this manually, you can press Ctrl V and create connect vertex path. Okay, you see it has created this connection. But now if you look, these vertex have almost 1 2 3 4 5 so many edges connected, right? And we don't want that because that will cause problem. What I'll do, I'll select this inside edge. What I did, I'll press Alt and double click there. I'll press Ctrl plus to expand the selection, and now I'll go to the press 3 and go to the face mode. Now what I'll do, press another shortcut called Alt G. If you want, you can also keep a notebook beside you, just keep a note somewhere. I will increase it to 180 degree. What it will do, it will remove that edge in between this thing. Okay, now this has created a nice 1 to 2 that topology, and if you see I have all this quad based here. Okay, now what I'll do, I will just add some grid shape here, because that dice grid shape that looks that will be properly fitted if I apply a grid here. So for that, what I have to do, I will select this edge and put the cursor to the selected. Okay, now if I add some grid here, it will be placed directly at the center of this circle. Again, I go to the top view, press Shift A, add a grid. Remember, I need grid size of 8. Okay, I'll just scale it manually like this. Okay, and now again I'll go to the I am in the edge mode. I'll select this internal edge by pressing Alt and double click, and then manually press Alt Shift and select edge of this newly added grid one by one. Note that when I added the grid here, I did it in the edit mode so that they are part of the same mesh. Otherwise, if I have added in the object mode, I would have to merge it and then select their respective boundary edge again. Okay, now it is very simple. Press Ctrl E, do a bridge edge loop. Now you will see I got this beautiful quad topology connected. So you can say that our job is done here. Now it is time to construct that cube shape out of it. What I will do, just press Shift D. Doesn't matter which where you create the first rotation. Let's say I want to rotate along Y by 90 degree. Okay, now you can see that I have created like this. If I go to front view, you can see it like this, right? So what I can do, I can just rotate it along Z. So I'll do Shift D, R, Z 90 degree, Shift D, R, Z 90 degree, again R, Z 90 degree. Now I have this whole shape, this whole is left, right? So what I have to do, I can pick any one of that part of it, doesn't matter. But remember where you want to rotate. If I take this one, I will rotate it along Y to fill this gap. If I take this one, I will rotate along X axis to fill this gap. And if I take this one, I will again rotate along Y. So let's start with this one, R, Y 90 degree. See, it is doing the opposite, right? So I'll press minus so that it becomes on the opposite side. Now you can see it has formed a cubic kind of shape. But if you notice here, the collection, you see, sorry, I think I did some mistake. Yeah. So I have 6 components selected, but they are separate mesh. I have to join them. I'll press A, Ctrl J, and then I'll go to edit mode and merge them by distance. You will see some duplicate vertex got removed. Now let me see if I apply subdivision surface. You see it has created something. But look at this thing. You see, there is some curvature here, right? Which I don't want. So what I'll do, I will select one of this edge, press Shift G and do select face angle. What it will do, it will select all these edges, right, which is causing problem. I'll just simply press Ctrl X. Now look at that beauty. You see, it looks very nice now, right? That ugly concave curvature has gone. So this is one of the tip I wanted to share with you. Now what I'll do, I will edge out that holes that we created. In the earlier tutorial, I showed you by creating some circle using that loop tool add-on, and I just extruded it along z-axis and created it. But to my taste, it didn't look as nice as I am going to show you now. So see what I am doing. I will just select some vertex. Let's start with that 6 vertex thing. Okay, and maybe I'll select this one. It doesn't matter from which side you start. Ultimately, you need to cover all of it. Okay, for a dice, the opposite number embossed on each of the opposite side should sum up to 7, right? And if I choose 6, opposite side should be 1. Similarly, let's do it for that 5, number 5. Okay. This is on the left orthographic. 5's opposite would be 2. So let me select PC. This is, yeah, I think this is okay. 5 and 2 is okay. Let me go to the 3, 1. Okay, 1 here I can choose 4. 3, 4. Let me go to the opposite of that back orthographic. 4's opposite will be 3. So I think this is okay. Let me verify my selection. Yes, it looks good. Now, instead of creating loop tool directly in the other tutorial as I showed doing it, I thought, why not move this vertex along their normal? Okay, so I'll press Alt S and move it like this. Or at least let's not do it like now, do it like this. Let's apply some circle. Okay, I created that circular shape here. Now I move them along their respective normal until unless I am happy with that shape of the groove. Okay, now I think we have done a good job. It looks good. Let me go to that object mode. It's from edit mode. I see it is good, but you see these grooves have a very smooth curvature, right? We don't want that. So how to make it sharp? Again, very easy. Just press Ctrl plus. Don't worry, it will select it properly except this top one where I have this 6 number. What I'll do, just disable it here, and I will just unselect it manually, these faces. So it is only at this place you have to do the changes, and the rest of them I think okay. But you know what, I think I have made that groove a bit more, but well, let's not waste time with that. You can tweak it later. And now what I'll do, I will just, there is another select the boundary loop. I'll choose that select boundary loop. Okay, press Ctrl B to segment, and remember you get the profile shape 1. Okay, now what I'll do, Shift G, no, not like that. I will just select these edges, press Shift G, face angle, and now see it has selected me all that required. Maybe some it has missed. Let me correct it manually. Okay, I pressed Shift G again. Now it has selected all those edges. Okay, ensure before moving out to object mode and doing something else. Now what you'll do, select again, go to loop inner region. Now you have selected the inner side of it. Now it is a good time to create a vertex group out of it because you will need it. So what I'm making it, circles. Okay, again go to vertex mode, press Ctrl I so that I select exactly the opposite one. Press Ctrl G again, assign to new group, and let's make it dice body. Okay, assign it. Okay, now when I come to object mode, you see it looks superb, right? GZ, let me move it like this. So you can now compare from the previous one to this one. This looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, now let's do one thing quickly. Add some material here. Let me rename it as black and create another material. Okay, and as it is black, let me also change the color to black. Why not? Okay, and let reduce the sharpness a little bit. Same for this one. Now I need to apply it, because if I just quickly go to the material preview, you will see everything is black. Okay, now we need to use that vertex group that I have created for applying that material. Okay, now what I'll do, I have the vertex selected, circle selected, I will just select it. You see it has intelligently, not intelligently, that is that mathematics that Blender know that I need to select this vertex. I'll go to the material, just black, I will just assign it. Okay, similarly I will select these vertex groups, I'll select it, go to the material, go to the white, assign. Now look at the beauty. See, it looks absolutely fantastic, correct? Now let me quickly do something. I'm adding one plane here. Okay, and I think I also need to add a camera here. Yeah, and if I see it at camera angle like this, and maybe add some quickly create some background here. Okay, remember I choose the profile shape 1, let's correct it to 0.5, and that will give me a nice background. So okay, I know what is happening. Okay, and let me see how it looks now. Yeah, okay, the default front view is obstructing my thing, so anyway I can also do it from back view, no problem, because my orientation was in a different style. And if I put my camera here like this, okay, let's try to see how it looks in the render view. By the way, for this material also, let's assign something. Let me give it some material shading and go to the render view. Okay, by the way, I don't see any light here from environment. Let me quickly add it. Again, this is not a specific class for doing this kind of thing, but let's try with very simple so that we can quickly see how it looks in the render, and we'll do some experiment with the lighting. Okay, okay, this looks pretty good. I think maybe I can tone down the brightness a little bit. Okay, and yeah, metallic is okay. Roughness, let's reduce it so that it reflects some nice light. And you can see my dice looks good, but notice one thing. This is, there is no depth of field applied here. Okay, now if you go to the camera settings and apply some depth of field and choose this thing, you see still nothing is happening, right? It does not look artistic, or nothing is happening. So what is the reason behind that? Many of you know, many of you don't know. Thing is that this is a camera, right? In Blender also you can apply, and you can see it is 50 mm camera, but problem is at that camera angle, for the size of this object, depth of field cannot be generated because it is very huge, right? I mean, you can think, yeah, this is a small thing, but in that this render region, it is pretty big. How big it is? Let's see that. Item, it is 1.35 meter. Man, that is insane, right? So instead, I need to reduce the size. Normally die size is of 2 centimeter or 3 centimeter. I think let's honestly, let's put it 2 centimeter. If I convert it to meter, it will become 0.02. Don't worry, I will fix this thing. Just notice, once I give the height as 2 centimeter or 0.02 meter, the scale become like this. I need to apply the same scale for x and y. I just press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V. Now it has created it, but it has become so tiny. Okay, let me apply the scale and press dot to zoom into that object. Now you see, you are seeing the effect of the depth of field, right? And another change is happening as you try to go even near to it, it is getting clipped off. So what you need to do in the viewport, just increase this clip radius a little bit, 0.1 like this. Yeah, still it is happening. So that means there is some problem with the camera. In camera also, make it to like this. Okay, now if you go even near, you see it will not get clipped. But here is another problem you are observing, right? I mean, I am giving a depth of field, I am getting that. Okay, you can see if I give higher f-stop, I am getting a bit of more control of the background. But if I want to make it look aesthetic, artistic, I'm not getting it. Why? Because I am not controlling for this small subject where exactly I am doing the focus. Again, I am diverting a little bit from traditional modeling tutorial, but it is something good to know. Okay, in order to direct your camera to focus in a special point on your 3D model, what you need to do, you need to use some reference. Okay, what reference you can do? Anything, just add in one empty. Okay, so this empty, just name it as focus tracker. And you see, I always keep my snapping at vertex level. Okay, so I just press Shift G, Control, and put it where I want to focus. But see, still did not do anything, right? Because I need to change it in my camera setting. I'll go to my camera. Here it was chosen as cube. Instead of doing that, I will choose the focus tracker. Now immediately see, sorry, if I move this focus point, you will see the camera will focus at the right place automatically. Okay, I think this looks good, but frankly speaking, to my taste, it is too much of depth of field. Okay, and let's change it to something which gives us a better view of it. I think 11, yeah, 11 looks pretty good. Okay, now what I can do, maybe try with some different color, maybe. Yeah, doesn't matter. But you got my idea, right? What I am trying to teach here, right? So with this technique, you can model this kind of shape. Okay, and if you look at, let me quickly go to that solid view mode and move out of camera, and you see the topology is very nice and very minimal, right? With very less amount of geometry, I have created this beautiful design. Okay, and you can apply it in any other tutorial. Okay, hope you have learned something good out of it. And in case again, I will insist, if you haven't seen the other part of the tutorial where I showed you different kind of dice modeling, please go check that, share it with your friend so that we all can learn. Okay, so with that, thank you all. Bye.